Howdy everyone, give me just 1 second. I need to fix something in the creation kit real quick. I'm going to get that loaded up and going in, and hopefully this should fix the issue I'm having with the mod on Starfield. So if you'll give me just one moment. Just getting everything set up real quick, finishing the touches on some stuff, and then we're going to load this in and see how it works in the game. Regardless of whether or not it fixes the issue that I was having here, we're going to start streaming the game. I don't want to stream what I'm working on kit right now because it'll give it away, and I kind of want it to be a little bit of a surprise. So if you'll just bear with me a moment, the suspense is killing you. How's everybody feeling about the new Starfield update coming on? Pretty exciting. The new stuff looks really good. A lot of stuff I had to go back and like watch again because I missed a lot of things that they showed off, like the new habs and the new ship parts and all that stuff. Space cell here. UNSC. Except I think one of these I'm gonna duplicate actually, and then have it be a functioning empty one with the actual name on it. Oh. talking about from the words I'm using right now. So subtle. Okay, that should work. That one, and then this as well. Honestly, I should have started with the pack-in version anyway. And that's what I did initially, and then I switched to the non-pack-in version of this thing. And it's been downhill since. I tell you, Jim. Or Tom. I don't know, pick a generic like 70s or 80s TV producer white guy name. Okay, and then that's the other thing I'm going to do is get rid of these again, because they're not the pack-in versions. And the game really doesn't like me not using the pack-in versions. So I'm going to get rid of those. This will be over real soon, guys, I promise. We'll go with that one there. And then I think the stalwart was here. Stalwart. And then the new Hillsborough went here. Oh yeah, that looks good. It's over here. It's right there. Okay, hopefully that will work and not break, and there won't be any issues at all, But regardless, we're gonna go ahead and throw this in and see if it works. So we're gonna save this for the 127 hours it takes to do that. Yeah, okay, so have those there. That's the new one. Okay, yep. Go ahead and put some of these here anyway. Trying to think of anything else that I'd want to show off. I guess, I mean, they don't really fit here super well, but I'll like throw them off here to the side so I don't have them replacing the vanilla ones yet, so type in that. Yeah, we'll like sprinkle some of those like right over here. That one. No, not what I meant. I want the actual, there we go, the vehicle. And then this one. And then we'll throw in these. Alright. Nearly there, folks. Nearly there. I know. The loading screen is so enticing. It just makes you want to... Well, currently it just makes you want to drop into the opening scene of Halo 3 ODST, I hope. Right, and drop out of the... I want to say it's the UNSC Say My Name? Or 2 for Flinching? That you drop out of? One of those two. It's a marathon cruiser. Okay. Close out. Make sure the creation kit actually stops, because it's been doing this lovely thing lately where it doesn't actually want to do that. Up Stornfeld. This new game, guys, Stornfeld. And our resident meme. Oh, he's gone now. Brian David Gilbert, I think. It's either David Brian Gilbert. I think it's Brian David Gilbert is his name. He has like 3 first names. Which is funny. Okay. Okay, we'll get that loading. Alright. Well, regardless of whether or not, you know, anything breaks, we'll see how well this goes. I'm gonna be honest, folks, I do not have high hopes that something won't break. Alright, we are here in my handy-dandy, trusty spaceship. And we're gonna see what's happening around Jemison. We'll see who's waiting for us. Could be something broken, hopefully it's not. This is the joys of modding and finishing a lot of this stuff literally seconds before I'm supposed to stream. So, isn't that fun? Isn't that so great? Okay, well, so far I don't see anything that's like running to get away from anything else. So everything looks loaded in. So as you can see, we got some new space stations here. We got some shipyards, heavy shipyards, and some really big special assembly plants. Those stations, as well as this big one down here, are based off of designs from the Sins of the Prophets people, but I modeled these myself, with the exception of this one down here. This one was modeled by one of the people on the project, Potato, so shouts out to Potato for kicking ass with that. As well as these 3 ships over here are his design that I modeled out. These are some of the civilian craft you'll be seeing. I have not seen them in game yet, so I don't know how well they're gonna look. But we're gonna go take a gander at some of this stuff. Let me get rid of my weapons, give myself some more engines, and then grab drive. This particular version of this station is actually slightly modified even more so from the Sins of the Prophets version. This is actually modeled after an object from Project Stardust over on Roblox. Oh, and now it's having a bad day. Well, you know, something was gonna happen, but next time I'll use the pack-in. And there you go, it's leaving us. It's the UNSC Central Command Station. It's not having a good time. It was too crowded. Oh no! The farce. You see it. Actually, it's hard to tell if it's still traveling or if it's just stuck right there. Either way. Everything else still seems to be working pretty decently. Over here... yeah, you can see the Synovian Heavy Shipyard, and again, the farce is broken. And then Special Assembly Plant. Oh no, and again, they're just a cube! I'm talking to a cube! Now we have a few civilian ships here today. We have the Rusimov mining freighter. I named it Rusimov because it's supposed to be like a larger, upgraded version of the, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a Halo 2 concept ship that kind of got tweaked around and turned into some other things as well. But it's essentially, that ship is named after like a giant in mythical lore, and Rusimov is the last name of Andre the Giant. So I thought that was fitting for any of you who know anything about Andre the Giant. Yeah, so this is the Rusimov mining freighter. And again, with its cuboid collision, because I can't be bothered to put proper collision to all my ships right now. I'm fairly happy with how these came out. I mean, you know, some things are a little clunky, but overall, you know, I'm pretty happy with how these designs got fleshed out. Same thing with these. You know, I might tweak like the textures on the crates, because I just kind of threw some stuff on there to make them look cratey. But this is the C class. Not the letter C, but like the word C, S-E-A, C Industrial Freighter. It's a big old cargo ship. Loosely, you can see it's got like some inspiration from like the UNSC frigates a little bit. But she's pretty big. Carries lots of cargo. Oh, is there something wrong with my sound? What's wrong? Do I need to adjust something? The game audio is wrong, or my mic, is it low? What's going on? Am I too loud? Yeah, ever since my cat destroyed my good headset, I've been back on my backup, and so the audio quality's unfortunately not going to be as nice. I'm sorry. Um, anyway, over here we've got the Jovian Economy Transport Vessel. Those are supposed to be light up like all those windows, so I'll have to go in and change that to a different light texture. But I'm glad this green isn't glowing, because every time I looked at it in the CK and outside of Nifscope, the green was like glowing after I applied it, so I was really worried about that. But this looks pretty good. It's a little bit blocky, but that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Was like kind of like a really, you know, minimalist, big civilian transport kind of vibe. I'm definitely going to go back and redo these engines because I'm not happy with how they came out. I was pretty lazy with these two engines when I made these two ships. But then we got the you're in the lounge, you have to tell me something? Well, listen, fisherman, that's nice, smelling good, but I'm streaming right now, so you'll have to wait until I'm done, Brohammer. Well, what's wrong with my stream? I can't fix it if you don't tell me what's wrong with it. Hold on, let me see how I'm sounding. I don't know, man. I checked my sound quality on my phone and all that, and it doesn't sound too terrible on my end. Like, it doesn't... God, this phone stand and this damn phone. No, I don't want to watch Star Wars shorts. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't sound too loud or too quiet or anything. I don't think. Yeah, there might be like some clipping sounds, or like, you mean like when I'm banging up against the edge of these ships? Like that's because of the collision. But other than that, I don't know, man. Anywho, so we've got the heavy shipyards, which are for the, like the cruiser size ships and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why there's bottom collision on that. That's super weird. I didn't put bottom collision on it. I'll have to figure out what's causing that. Maybe redo the collision on these. Yeah, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to turn me up, because I'm checking on my phone. I sound pretty loud to me. Like, I can turn my mic up a little bit more. And then turn like my game audio down. That's about as well as I can run it. There's nothing much else I can do. I'm at running max. I've got my mic right next to my face. All I can tell you is turn the volume up. There's not much else I can do. Sorry. I had a better mic, and then my cat fucking bit the cord of my. And I had just gotten him too. I hadn't even had him that long. I had him like a couple months, not even a couple months maybe. And he destroyed my new Razer headset. So anyway, you got some smaller shipyards here working on some of these ships. Unfortunately the cranes don't really move or anything right now. I might have to see if there's any like moving crane animations or anything somewhere in the game, and like see if I can't get those to work on that. But until then, uh, I forgot we have the Neptunia luxury liner. When I was building this in Blender, I kind of wanted to like use the design philosophy of the Banta colony ship. So it's got like a lot of those like curves and overhangs. God, the textures on that, they look so different when you're applying them in Nifscope to how they look in game. So I'm gonna have to go back and give these some nicer textures. Look for some different, like, I don't know, like a different white or something, because that looks pretty bad, and I don't know what's causing that. I'm needing 800 euros for my PC. Yeah, I feel that, man. I mean, not the euros. I live in the United States, but yeah. PCs are getting expensive. Uh, got like a little UNSC satellite over here. I think I showed, if I can find one of these off the last time. Yeah, it's right up here. But this like command refit platform that again was also both designed and built by Potato. So he did a really good job on this. I only tweaked a couple of things, like split it up, separated it, and stuff like that. But all right, well, tell me how I sound now with your headset in. Look, I tested my audio like 2, 3 times now, and I can hear myself just fine on my phone. Uh, like I haven't checked to see how I'm sounding on the PC, so let me see. Let me open up YouTube and hope my whole stuff doesn't crash. Uh, Go to my channel, click on my live. Let me turn my volume up all the way. Okay, let's see. How does this sound? Does this sound good? Yeah, I can kind of see what you're talking about. On the PC side, it does sound pretty quiet, so let me, there really ain't a whole lot else I can do. Um, yeah. to split my massive mod into separate mods. Yeah, that's it's the same way for me. Yeah, no, I can kind of see what you're saying. Like on the PC side, for me, it does sound a little bit quiet, but there's just not a whole lot else I can do about that right now. And when I record my video, like the footage for my video and all that stuff on CapCut, I'm gonna have to boost my volume and then tweak it and see how that all sounds. But unfortunately, right now, there's just not a whole lot else I can do. But anyway, yeah, why is this bugging the fuck out? You're not supposed to have collision right here. I'm gonna have to figure out what's causing this and why the game really doesn't want to have like the proper collision. But this is the special assembly plant. As you can see, they're big. Yeah, I'm right up underneath it. I know. Doesn't like me touching anything. And these things are big. This will be for like the largest class of ships that you can get, which are like the the 2.5 kilometer ones. And then the heavy shipyards, those are going to be for like your cruisers and some of your smaller vessels, things that are like bigger than a frigate. Like for the frigate, you're going to have the small shipyards. Different stations, do different things. There's a whole, I've gone over that a little bit, but I'll probably touch up on that again when I do my next update video and all that. But let's check out some of the new stuff, some of the things I've reworked since the last update, other than these new stations and the big boy down there that didn't want to be touched. I'll have to replace him with a pack-in version and see if that doesn't fix it. That's super weird that it was bugging like that. Let me see if this pack-in also has that buggy collision, or if it's just something to do with yeah, see, that's weird. This has the correct collision. Yeah, no issues there. It's just the like when you create it as a part and all that. That's weird. I gotta figure out what's causing that. See if I can't fix it. We have some new ships here. This one, which doesn't have a tag because this is just a pack-in version, is the Point Blank class Prowler. One of the new ships I've just recently added in. This was built by KRP1138, who's done some absolutely banger fantastic work. You want to have your own Halcyon class ship? Hey, well, listen, it's definitely one of the ships you'll be able to pilot. But which one would you like? Would you like regular or diet? Because I've got both. We've got the Flight 1 Halcyon, and then we have the Refit Halcyon Cruiser. Those should be named differently, so I'll have to go back into the creation kit and change the naming on those. But I got both versions. Now every ship in here should be 1-to-1. Yeah, see, there we go. It's got the big box collision, which, I mean, it is supposed to have, but, like, I don't know. Some of these are acting real funky. And then we also have the Artemis, of course, looking as menacing as ever. There we go. Down here, we have the artist formerly known as the Athens class as it turns out, heavy carrier. Didn't realize what kind of carrier it was. But it is now the Izanami class carrier. Um, looking purty. If a bit clunky, but yeah. Don't look at the engines. Don't look. Everyone turn away. Don't look. They're hideous. They're pretty bad. The Punic looking as massive and gorgeous as ever. Let's see. The Ion, Ion, I don't know. Light carrier. Let's see what else is new. There's the Phoenix class. Oh, the Cradle. We got the Cradle popping in to say hello. Fix your ships. All that good stuff. Doing its job as a repair vessel. And a refit station. We have some others, if I can find them. You know, sometimes they're really hard to see. Oh, here they are. That's kind of the point, though, because they're super stealthy. We have all three of our Prowler classes right here. We got the Razor, the Sahara, and the Point Blank. All right here. There's the Sahara Prowler. Yeah, the Frontier. What I want to do, and what I'm probably going to do, is once I get the Winter class in here, the Winter class Prowler, I'm either going to turn the Frontier into... Oh, I wasn't locked onto anything. I'm either going to turn the Frontier into the Winter class or the Razor class Prowler, probably. Because they're both, you know, pretty small. The Winter class, or the Razor class right here, we can, like, see if I can park right next to it so you can see. Like, she's only a tad, like, about twice the length of the Frontier. A little bit more, maybe. Something like that. Yeah. She's got a pretty slim profile. You know. I have them modeled, or not modeled out. They were already modeled out by KRP. I have them set up, but I don't have them like finished and in here as like proper ships yet. But I have the C709 longsword from KRP, and that's the one from Halo 1. It's the Halo 1 design longsword, and it looks so nice. He's done an absolutely fantastic job. Same with these other Prowlers. No, that's not the Normandy SR1. That's a Sahara Prowler. They do look, you know, kind of. They've got that same kind of frame. I wouldn't be surprised if the design of the Sahara, or not the Sahara, the Razor. God, I can't. This is the Razor Prowler. They do look similar. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of like influence from Mass Effect to these things at all. Oh no. I don't mean to be assaulting you and accosting you. No, that's the Razor. That's the Sahara. This one right here. Most of the Prowlers are pretty small. Like, you know, relatively speaking, for UNSC ships, they're pretty tiny. They're still fairly big. Like, yes, I know, you don't want to be touched. I need to fix the collision issues. I don't think you could land this thing in there. I think this one's a little too big, but like the Sahara's still pretty big compared to this thing. We have... I feel like I'm missing another ship. We've got a new skin on the Destroyer, a new model for the Destroyer. Because the old one was kind of clunky and outdated. And KRP worked on this one, and it looks just fantastic. This is really hard to do, to fly around them with a mouse and keyboard. Good lord, I can't do that forever. There was the one ship, it goes active camo. So there's technically two ships that are for sure have active camouflage, and that would be the Sahara, this one right here, and the Eclipse, which I do not have a model for, but I'm probably going to rough one out soon, and then send that over to KRP and see if you can't work some magic on it. But technically, all of the Prowlers are stealth ships. Like even this tiny little thing, the Razor, which seems, you know, unassuming and useless. Like, this thing scared the Covenant because they almost barely missed it when they were hunting these in the system, and a bunch of these left the planet, and there was just a faint flicker of you know, exhaust or something from the engines, or like a shimmer or something that gave it away, but it wasn't showing up on their sensors at all. And you can read about it in Halo Silent Storm. It's like the very beginning of the Human Covenant, where it's like a year or so in, and the shipmaster is like talking to this guy at the monitor, this elite, and he's like, you know, why didn't you say anything, blah blah blah, and he's like, oh, it's probably just some sort of like geospatial anomaly or shimmer in the sensors or something like that. And then they're talking about how their own stealth ships, their own ships which have cloaking, would have been picked up and given more of a signature than the Razor Prowler did. Which is interesting. That even with all of their limitations, the UNSC stealth ships, at least in certain regards, outclassed the Covenant's stealth technology when it comes to their like specific, you know, these kinds of classes of ships. And I just thought that was a really cool tidbit. It was one of the areas, along with like, you know, electromagnetic warfare and like that kind of stuff, where the UNSC, you know, had some advantages. Obviously AI and stuff like that, but I believe that's all for now in the update. So we got the heavy shipyard, the special assembly plant for building the big ships, Like this big boy here. They're pretty big. Halo Wars Sniper Marine units? What about them? You mean like that goofy ass armor they have in Halo Wars 2? The giant helmet? Oh, they had active camo? I want to say that's just in Halo Wars 2, and so those are like post-war upgrades from Isabel. The UNSC didn't really have active camo until like I think more than halfway through the war. Like some Spartan 3 headhunters had it. You know, obviously some specialized Razor Prowler ships had, or not Razors, but the Eclipse and Sahara had it at least. I don't know about the Point Blank, and I don't know about the Razor. I don't think that they had active camouflage. But I know that that wasn't a thing that UNSC units, especially not common units, had access to until like post-war era. In canon, anyway. You know, I'd love to work some stuff like that into the mod for like the alternate timeline stuff, like the main story and all that that we're working on. But as for what's canon, I don't believe they had active camo before the events of Halo Wars 2, which obviously take place much, much, much later after the war. So yeah, we got you know, those new space stations. That one which didn't want to be friendly. Some new civilian ships, and these over the weekend I'm gonna get to replace the vanilla civilian ships and like freighters and all that stuff, and then I'll add more models in for that. But for now, that's it. And now that I've got a full UNSC roster, you know, we're gonna make sure that all these are ships that you can see, with the exception of like the Punic and like the Thanatos, like the really big ones. Um, the ships that unfortunately you will not be able to pilot, it's just they're too big. Like these right here, like which I know is kind of arbitrary given that some of these are already massive, but like 2.5 kilometers I think is the biggest ship that I'm gonna give the player, because I don't want you to just have this massive, you know, ship that you want to plug into a vanilla game and then do stupid damage with that you can already do with some of the other ships like the Phoenix class and the Epoch and the pardon me, the Vindy and all that. I haven't plugged in any of the new Covenant ships that I'm working on, that I've got ready and set up and all that. I just haven't put them into the game. But I have retextured some of the ships, so they should show up with the new textures. So let's see how that looks. Oh no! Well, someone had to leave. Yeah, there's the RSO in the background. She's absolutely massive. The CSO's here. I'm not too happy with that shade on the CSO, so I might tweak that some more. But, let's see how the CCSs are looking in game now that I've removed that metallic. Hopefully I've removed that metallic sheen from them. Oh no. that's the light effect. That's like, oh no, that's super weird. Okay. Well, that's not good. No, why are you doing that? That's not right. Well, damn. Yeah, it's supposed to look like the purple, and then they're like, I don't know why they're glitching out like that. Maybe I shouldn't have removed the metallic. Maybe I should have done something else. Maybe the roughness? I don't know. In the meantime, it's the new Rave Cruiser, guys. Haha, totally was on purpose. Anyway. Nothing super new with the Varick Heavy Cruiser. We've got the Super Cruiser here, the DOS Super Cruiser, with its new coat of paint. And I like this a lot better than what I had going on before. I think this looks a lot nicer. I was trying to give the Covenant a little more, you know. Oh, that's not right. You've got a CCS inside of you. How did I not notice that? Unless it's a glitch because you guys fused together. I don't know. That's weird. Well, ignoring the CCSs that want to glitch the hell out. I'm probably just going to turn on God mode because I'm sick of waiting for my boost to get back up again. Yeah, there we go. The CAR frigates are looking pretty nice. Especially with that violet glow that I put on there. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. We've got the, where is it at? Yeah, the Rumo Light Carrier. Again, it's got that weird CCS thing in there. I'm gonna have to go through and mess with those models and see what's going on, because that's not supposed to be in there. I don't know what's bugging about this. That's so weird. Let's go check out the Corvettes. Corvettes have got a new blue on them. I think it looks a lot nicer than the old blue. Again, if the sun was just in the right position and not whatever the hell it's doing now. It's always like a 50-50 what you're gonna look at. Anyway, that's the new blue. We'll come up here to the destroyers. why these assault carriers are purple. I think I definitely might have fucked something up in Nifscope or something. I'll have to go back and see what's causing this. Because that is not supposed to be happening. Oh yeah. Lots of Covenant ships. Got the CAS right here. You got the rough models for my CSO rework, because I haven't added any detailing or finished the models on that yet. And then the RSO, which is another non-canonical ship, but I just loved how it looked, so I knew I had to have it. So modeled this out. Yeah, well, I don't know how to tell you this, lonely fisherman, but I think I'm gonna follow that trend because I have zero plans to make the Covenant joinable. At least not in the traditional sense. What is this? Why are you like this? Why are you there? You're not supposed to be there. That's oh man. I feel like I messed something up somewhere. I'm gonna have to go through and figure out what's wrong. Alright, well I've got God mode on, so I'm not really worried about what I'm about to do here, but you guys know I gotta. If I can lock onto the right thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, wrong thing. Let me load up a missile. Alright, now we're out of here. You're too fast! You're too fast! You're supposed to be slower. Oh no. Do you think they're angry, guys? See if I can make that shot. Oh! Call me missile sniper. Yeah, you're not moving, so something is definitely wrong. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I know, you're still bugged. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! You see, I would be toast, but I have a little thing called console commands. Oh no. Something's bugged. Who was that? Oh, the Rumalite carrier. I could have sworn I put collision on that thing. And yet it still wants to be a pain in the ass. Flyby! Oh, well, that didn't really work, because you have a giant box around you now, don't you? Alright, guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make my way towards the unbelievably massive RSO. I'm flying around, like, I'm zooming pretty quickly, so everything here looks, like, small. But I can assure you everything is to scale. Including the CSO I'm about to run past. But, let's see, how far in are we? I gotta wrap this up here in a couple minutes. So... Oh no. Yep, giant box collision, I know. Do you think they know where I am, guys? How can you tell? Now this thing, on the other hand, is probably gonna crash my game as soon as I start getting too close to it. And I'll tell you why this thing is gonna crash my game. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm traveling at nearly 600 meters per second, I want to say. And it doesn't really look like I'm getting any closer. That's because this lovely ship is almost 500 kilometers long. Almost the size of High Charity. And I placed this just as the ship in a space cell. And the game doesn't care for that so much. The game didn't like that. It's a little cranky about it. And so if I get close in about 127 years, it should just crash my game. But we will see. Well, I'm past one of the little arms, which I think is the closest I've ever been. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm surprised I haven't crashed by now. I'm waiting for it to happen. Oh, no, there's gonna be flood, don't worry. I cannot wait for that remake to come out. I'm gonna get some delicious new flood models. I can't wait to see what the flood looked like in the remake and the new juggernauts. Oh, nope, ship is gone and I've crashed. Yay! Well, folks, that is unfortunately going to be it for the stream tonight. So, that's everything for now. When the video drops, it'll be showcasing, you know, the ships that are all going to be replaced. Which the only ships that I have now that haven't been replaced should be, I want to say like the Crimson Fleet ships, maybe, and a couple other minor factions as well, and then like civilian ships need to be changed. Excuse me. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks everyone for showing up. You know, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I may still go on Twitch tonight, but it's getting pretty late, so I might have to postpone that until Sunday for Sunday stream. If you haven't already, go check out the Discord. Check out my other links. And you know, if you like what I'm doing here and you like to help support this project and all that good stuff, and me to continue working on this, please consider going and checking out my Patreon. So, thanks everybody.